What up, everyone? This is the Backcourt Combos podcast with your host, Beezy.
Demo.
What up, baby? Good. So, we've been wanting to start a podcast for a while now. We go to Indiana Wesleyan University. We're Hoopers. We've been wanting to start a podcast. There's not much to do in northern Indiana. A lot of people are starting podcasts, so a lot of Hoopers and stuff. So, we decided to hop on the trend. We went with the Backcourt Combos because we are going to be the backcourt this year. We called it combos because we could both be combo guards, and also because we're going to talk about a combination of different things, not just hoops. So yeah, that's where we're going with this. So hope you all enjoy.
For the first episode, we just wanted to introduce ourselves, talk about what our interests are and why we decided to go with this. And I think just I'm going to ask him some questions. He's going to ask me some questions, and then we're going to go from there. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Just getting to know us, talking through it, and then knowing where we go from there. So,
Yes, sir. Let's get after it, baby. All right. So first question, Demo. Well, first of all, what's your real name?
my real name, that's Derek Darnell Moore Jr., named after my dad, of course. And I like DJ, Derek Jr., just because my whole family's called me that growing up. So I never, ever strayed away from it. Yeah. How about you, Luke?
Yep, I'm Luke. Luke Brown, baby. Everyone on the team calls me Beezy. I don't know why. Who started that?
I think we all just started calling you Beezy. I don't know.
It was Javen.
Yeah, I think it was Jay. It was definitely Jay. He said it and it just stuck.
Yeah, they started calling me Beezy. It kind of stuck. But I'm Luke. Not Lucas. Everyone wants to try to call me Lucas. He calls me Lucas sometimes, but just Luke. Plain simple name. But let's get into it here. So, where are you from, and where did you grow up? Because I know you have like a different background than a lot of us on the team.
So a lot of people from our team from Indiana. Not from Indiana at all. From like Columbus, Ohio, Westville, Ohio. Grew up.
Columbus.
Yeah, we call it Columbus. Sometimes, as you can say, Columbus is dangerous. Sometimes, depending on the part that you live in. But I would say grew up in Columbus, Ohio. Went to Worthington Christian High School, and then I've lived there my whole life until now. My parents moved from Florida to Charlotte, back and forth, so.
Where's your family from, though?
My mom's side of the family is from Puerto Rico, but my dad grew up in Springfield, Ohio, so he's not too far from where he was at. But my mom loved Puerto Rico, but wanted to move out here just to see something different. So
we, as a team, we actually went over Christmas break last year to Puerto Rico to play. What did we play? 2 or 3 games?
Yeah, I think 2 games against some Puerto Rican teams. It was good, good team. Like getting together as a team to do something fun like that. So I think it was good for everybody.
It was cool seeing Demo's whole family there, supporting him and stuff. So it was cool. It was my first time. Is that technically out of the country?
I wouldn't know. It's a U.S. territory, so it's a part of the country. But
for me, it was out of the country because I ain't never been there before.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call it out of the country. But no, it was cool. It was a lot of fun. So
where are you from? I know you big time in Indiana. Everybody knows who Beezy is, Luke Brown. So talk to me about your.
So I'm originally from Brownsburg, Indiana, which is a suburb outside of Indianapolis. Lived there for 16 years, my whole childhood. Grew up in the same house, and then my going into high school, my dad's first cousin, not my dad's dad's first cousin took a head coaching job up in Hartford City, Indiana. So I really claim I'm from Hartford City. I went to Blackford High School. Loved it there. It's a small town, country town. So I was originally from the city, went to the country. So it was cool moving there. It was definitely different. I showed up the first day, bro, with ripped jeans, had them rolled with no socks, Sperry's on, had me a nice little shirt on, and everyone else had on like a t-shirt and baggy shorts or cowboy boots. So it was definitely a transition, but I rep Hartford City, man. I love those people, and I'm sure they'll pop out at some games this year.
I feel that. Everybody knows Beezy. Just know that. Everybody knows Beezy.
I love it, man. I love the state. I hated it going away, man. But
let's talk about that a little bit. So neither of us started out at Indiana Wesleyan. funny enough, we both played in the same conference before we transferred here. So talk to me a little bit about that and that move and how you felt leading up to it.
So for me, I've had a rocky road of college so far. So started off at Stetson, which is in DeLand, Florida. I was there for about a month. Really struggled. So my whole life I've struggled with obsessive compulsive disorder (OCD) um, since fourth grade. And when I got there, it got really bad. Struggled with anxiety and depression, like extremely bad, like to where I've never really experienced that before. So I felt like I needed to come back home, so I did. It was very hard, very, very hard. I've had some hard conversations with coaches and families and doctors through that time, which grew me as a person, but it's not fun to go through those trials. But so moved back home, went to Ball State, played there for half a year on a broken toe and a hurt hip, and wanted a red shirt, didn't red shirt, played. After that, decided to go back to Stetson because my entire coaching staff got fired at Ball State. Went there, had a really good year, enjoyed it, but I just got to the point where like I just wasn't loving basketball, wasn't loving hoops. So growing up around this area and around Iowa, I was just like, they always talked about the love of the game. So I was like, I'm gonna head on back home and try to find the love of the game again. For me though, it's like anything in my life. It's like whether it's a relationship or like my family or my friends or basketball. Like if I'm all in, I'm all in, like all in. And if I'm not, I'm not at all. So it was like it was getting to that point where I was just like, I don't care if I pick up a ball again. And that's coming from a kid who worked so hard for it. So glad to be here. It was a rocky road to get here. I wish I would have just came here right out of high school and enjoyed my college career, but it's a journey, man, and God's got me, I guess.
It's a journey for sure, and I'm glad you're here for.
Yeah, swing the rock over to you.
Yeah.
So DJ's a transfer from Liberty. So tell me about that's actually in the so we were both in the ASUN conference, Stetson and Liberty. We weren't there at the same time.
So he was there. He was there a year before I got there, and then transferred to Ball State when I got there. And then when I transferred, he went back to Stetson. So it was interesting to learn about all of that. And so basically for me, like any recruiting story, got recruited there, ended up graduating high school early to go to Liberty. Went there for would have been my senior year. Was happy about it, happy about the decision, was really excited to get to go there and them trusting me to go there, forgo my senior year and come there early. Wanted to redshirt, that was a plan. Had a pretty good preseason leading up to the season, and then got into the games, ended up not redshirting, got into a couple games, got into the season a couple games, and then ended up taking my red shirt. Played a couple games, and then you know how the ups and downs of how kind of the season goes. You don't play as much as you want to, or stuff like that happens, and just confusing in your mindset. Just like how Beezy said, just kind of like frustrated and upset about certain things that you just want to love the game again. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. Long story short, I just really wanted to play somewhere where I would love the game again, and just be happy in who I was as a player and who I am. So I really love being here and deciding to come here. It was a long, lengthy, I would say, process going through recruiting again. And then for me, I would say this is the hardest decision I've had to make was deciding to transfer. So I think for me, it was just making sure that it was the right place. And I think we both could kind of agree like this was a really good place for us. We have a lot of freedom basketball-wise in our personal lives, just being able to grow in what we want to do within Christ, honestly. We've just grown in our relationship with Christ a lot since I've been here. A lot has changed. Just going from a bigger D1 to a NAIA school, you see it's more community. Like you see a lot of community within the coaches, within the players, like we are all competing still. Like we're all competing, but everybody wants everyone to succeed, and I think that's the biggest difference we see here.
True brotherhood.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, so
which is awesome.
you grow with a lot of people around you that you're going to be friends with for the rest of your life. So
Isn't it crazy, bro? Like you said, I'll backtrack. You said like I just wanted to go somewhere and be happy. Like in that all a Hooper wants, bro, is just like find somewhere where you're happy. Like I I have a hard time with the whole people bashing other people about transferring and all that stuff and people on social media or old heads on social media saying this and that and the other, but it's like, yeah, the kid might have had a great year. You might have wanted him to stay on your team, but maybe he wasn't happy. He just wants to be happy, right? So that's a big thing, bro. It's just being happy and enjoying the game
I
with
think
every.
with how the transfer portal and NIL is now, like it's a little different. Like you really got to read the situation. Some people are really trying to be happy and getting out of a situation that is really ruining them as a person. Like I would say the biggest thing, not all D1 or all basketball is equal in a way when it comes to college. Like sometimes coaches are the way they are when you get on campus. Sometimes they're not. Like you'll never know that until you truly get there and find out. So I think the biggest thing is kind of just vetting out who you're going to be with. You just spend now you don't have to spend 4 years there, but like when when I was getting in to school, like you want to decide where you want to be for 4 years. Now it's a little different, but all in all, like you really want to grow where you are, where your feet are. So I think finding the best space or best place for you is like the biggest thing when it comes to recruiting.
That's what really screwed me over was like the COVID stuff. Like I didn't visit a school. I didn't meet a coach face to face. I didn't get to interact with players, go to games, meet coaches and stuff. So like anyone, they can say whatever they want over text or over the phone or over a face call, but you don't really get that connection with a coach or even with players. Like I'd love to know who my teammates are and stuff, like other than on social media. So that really threw a wrench, I think, into a lot of people. I think that's why you see so many transfers because that COVID year really, and not only the kids who were coming in, but the kids who have a COVID year, so they can stay a fifth year. So now you've got fifth years playing all on the same team, and that really knocks off the freshmen and other recruiting classes and stuff. So it's been wild, bro. College basketball is turning into. But let me ask you this: what do you think about NIL?
Honestly, I think it's really good for players. Honestly, it could be used for a great, like, it could be a great thing and a great, say, give the upper hand to players in a way. Just for, in situations where coaches are killing their players, right? Like, you're going in, like, sometimes you'll have a day where you're 12 hours on the court or 12 hours in the weight room, on the court, watching film, doing scout. Like, you're in there for half a day. And you get nothing towards you.
Scholarship. My rebuttal to that is I went to the poorest school probably in Indiana, Blackford. Shout out Blackford, love you guys, but poor school, small school. I did not try in school, I'll be honest. Like I try really hard at basketball, don't try at school. Uh-oh, we got someone coming in. Who coming in?
Cade, what's up? You want to come say what's up? You want to come say hello?
Yeah, say what's up to the pod.
Yeah. You can walk
We got
around.
Caveman here. We got freshman of the year coming in.
Yeah, freshman of the year coming in, Caveman Bontrager. Yeah, first episode. Oh, you don't want to come in the camera, say hello.
Say what up. Say what up. Say what up.
What's up, y'all?
What you doing? What you doing?
Okay. See, freshman of the year. You get that working, gang.
Have fun, big fella. Stay out of trouble. But what was I talking about?
NIL.
Oh yeah. So Blackford, right? Have no money, nothing. Small school, poor school. I don't try in school. I had like a 3.9. I could have went to an in-state school and applied for every scholarship and gotten my school paid for. So it's like when they throw around like you're getting your school paid for, it's like I get that to an extent, but also like I could have stayed in state with my academics and just gotten my school paid for, worked a job and got money. So
I agree. I think how teams are using it now, it's not the best way. I mean, you're paying players to basically come play for you, which great for the players. Like I would never fault anybody for choosing to do that, because I mean you got to look out for yourself, you got to look out for your family. You never know what the situation at home is. So all of that stuff, like, it's good for the players, but for the program sometimes it's just like you don't know if you're gonna have a kid for 1 year, 2 years, unless you pay them. So I think it's a little different, for sure. It's a little new. A lot of coaches don't understand it yet, but some coaches are catching on, as you can see.
Point where I don't care about the program.
Yeah.
They can get screwed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Though?
I get
From
that.
our past experiences, it's like if another school outbids you, sorry.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't keep your promises to this
that's a big
player
thing,
and
yeah.
he leaves, that's on you.
So I know a lot of people getting a lot of money to go play. They don't even need to play. That's the thing. You don't even need to play.
You don't even need
Some
to
people
step foot
have
on the court.
Yeah, some people that are not going to get minutes are about to have 100K, 200K just to throw around.
I'll never forget Johnny Manziel went on a podcast and he said he saw all his jerseys flying off the racks and stuff, and he was looking around like, where's my cut? And that's so true. Like, some of these kids make so much money for their programs, season tickets, concessions, you know, they do all these things, right? And it's like, where's their cut, right? Like, if you're going to sell their jerseys, you're going to sell their T-shirts, and the school is going to profit all of it. I mean, I think NIL is great. I mean, if you really look at it, if you're a dentist, you make money. If you're a doctor, you make money. You work at McDonald's, you make money. So, like, you know, at this point, dude, I'm 22 years old. How are you, 21?
21.
Like, we're pretty much turning into grown men. Like, I need some bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I get the NIL and stuff, but it is getting kind of crazy. So, all right, so let's transition into – so I want to know a little bit more about your high school hoops, right? You said where you went to high school. Where was it?
I went to Worthington Christian. Yeah.
So what was it like? Was it a big school, small school? Did you enjoy it? Do you have any regrets of wishing you went somewhere maybe bigger, or prep school, or even your case staying for an extra year of high school? What were your thoughts on high school?
So for me, I really enjoyed my high school career. Whether it was just basketball or just hanging out with the guys, like, I enjoyed high school. Just playing and being in that atmosphere. I say there's nothing like high school hoops. It's so much more relaxed, so much more, like, you get to enjoy it. You really get to sit in it and enjoy it, especially if you're a good player that's going somewhere. It's something for you to, like, look forward to. You look forward to those games. You look forward to all that stuff. So I think the biggest thing for me was trying to stay grounded in what I do. So I think all the people around me, my high school coach, shout out Kevin Weekly, even if I was the best player on the floor, he made sure that I knew that to stay super humble. My parents all the time told me, stay humble, stay locked in, all this stuff. My whole family always did. But on the court, like, he was always like, don't showboat in the way. You know you're really good. Just be you. He always talked to me about that stuff and was poured into me all the time. So I really appreciate him and everybody that let me grow into the player that I am today. So I say high school really shaped me into the player that I am. So I'd say I'm not as famous as Luke Brown in Indiana or in Ohio, but I could hoop back in the day. I could hoop back in the day for sure. I can still hoop, but watch some high school clips. I was giving buckets. I was torching. So
Did you win a state or no?
I lost in the state championship my junior year. We would have ran it back my senior year if I would have stayed. So that decision was really, really hard. Yeah. So it was just hard for me to tell my coach that. I think that deciding to leave. Like, I was so ready to get out of high school, though. Like, I was excited to get out of high school. Just I had a really tiny school. Like, you were asking the size, like 90 people in my class, my graduating class. We had like 400 max people in the whole high school. So small private Christian school. Shout out Worthington Christian, just for put that out there. But I really enjoyed the 3 years that I spent there. So how about you? I know I keep saying it. Everybody knows it. Everybody's watching. Indiana legend hooper right here out of Blackford. So tell me about your high school experience.
Yeah, so I'd first like to shout out my family, my mom and dad especially. Like I said, I grew up in Brownsburg, Indiana. My dad's dad, my granddad, got his first cousin got the head coaching job at Blackford in Hartford City, and like, to be honest, like it's not the greatest, it's not like the greatest town in the state, like top 5 poorest town. So my mom was not happy, but they sacrificed for me and my goals, and so shout out them. And you know, looking back on it, like Hartford City is the coolest place ever. I still go visit there, go golf there. I love it there. Love the people, nicest people you'll ever meet, down to earth. Were so welcoming to me, so that was awesome. But yeah, getting there, like my coach was 82 years old, legend. He's in the Hall of Fame for Indiana, and he just kind of tossed me the rock and was like, just go. So I was lucky enough to be able to shoot it from half court whenever I wanted and pretty much run the show. So props, shout out to him, because without a coach, you know how that is. Without a coach like that, like if you have a coach telling you what to do all the time and putting the reins on you, it's hard to go. So shout out to him. But yeah, no, I was blessed with an awesome high school career. Scored a lot of points, had a lot of assists, won a regional for the first time in school history. High school was so much fun, but my biggest regret, bro, in high school was just like I was so caught up in it, like not in the hype or in that aspect of it, but like I was so like, at this time my warm-up starts, I do this, I take a nap at this time, I have to play good in this game and that game, and it was like so overwhelming. I remember my sophomore year, like it got so bad because I had a lot of media at the time, and one time it just got too much, and I was just before the game, bro, I was in the locker room just bawling. Like I didn't even go warm up because I was just so overwhelmed with everything. But I regret like not living in the moment and remembering it. Like I blew off my friends for stuff, for workouts, and like looking back on it, bro, like life is so much bigger than hoops. Like I was the kid who would like sit and watch Kobe and be like, you know, he was doing this and that. He didn't go out with his friends, but like, bro, like let's be honest, I'm not Kobe Bryant. Like, he's a different animal. But like I do regret that, not living in the moment, because like I could tell you game for game every specific detail, but like I don't remember it because it was just such a blur. But it was awesome. Had so much fun. So many friends from Hartford City. My teammates, love all of them. Still hang out with all of them. I'm actually going on Saturday to, his name's Jerry Hoover, my head coach. It's his 90th birthday, so I got to go speak there, and that should be fun. So yeah, no, high school was awesome, man. Loved it. Wish I could go back and never leave and stay in my parents' house and have my parents' card and
Not have to worry about paying for anything. Yeah. I'm going to backtrack when you said like the overwhelmed feeling and like kind of just putting other things aside to kind of go with basketball. I would say I agree. Like I think you can vouch for this, like putting all that time and effort into basketball and not really worrying about all the other stuff, like being a teenager and being in high school. Kind of, you look back to it now and you're like, I just wasted all that time. Not wasted, but like you didn't experience everything you could have out of it. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. Like in high school, I was like schedule, like practice, workout, do this, do that. I never did anything outside of basketball with the people from basketball doing basketball. So it's like and my parents, like my junior year, they made me like go out and do some things with some friends. Like they made me do that because I was missing out on all of that, especially early on. Like I had already committed, so I didn't have to worry about. I didn't have that much pressure on me to find a place to go. And I don't know if it was just me either, but like when I put in all of that work and I see all of that work done, like the biggest thing for me is like that D1 or bust like mindset. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. Like as soon as I got my first offer, which was Ohio University, again, shout out Jeff Balls, he's a great guy. As soon as I got that offer, I was bawling my eyes out in the car on the way to school. I remember it. Yeah, listen, I was in the drop-off line because I couldn't even drive yet. I was in the drop-off line, and I got the text and I was just crying my eyes out because I'm like, I just put in all this work. I'm so happy right now. Like this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I know that was my mindset, especially going into high school. Like I want to go D1. That's like what I want to do. And if I don't, then all the time, money, all the sacrifices that my parents put into me, like it wouldn't be worth a thing, you know.
The biggest D1 or bust kid like ever. I remember telling my buddy, he was a grade older than me. You know Max Muskizzy?
Yeah.
Shout out Max, that's my guy. His mom was I think it was his mom and dad were in the car with me. And I don't think he was in the car yet. And we were talking about NAI because I think he had just gotten a couple NAI offers. But I was a grade younger, so I hadn't gotten anything yet. And she was like talking about like the offers he had just gotten, talking to me about like, you know, what would I do if the NAIAs and stuff like that offered me. And I was like, if I go out through my high school career and never get a Division I offer, the last time I step on that floor will be as a senior in high school. Like I was like, I will never play again because of how hard I worked for it. I'm like, I'm gonna make that level because of how hard and how much I care about it, and also too because like I was the underdog, right? So like I was the kid who was touted as like not a Division I player, not athletic enough, this, that, all down the line, and then to be able to rack in like 16 Division I offers, I was like, you know, it was kind of like redeeming myself. But now looking back on it, it's like I was a stupid high school kid who was, I wouldn't say I was cocky or that I was arrogant, but I was just like determined, bro. Like I was like getting there regardless, and I did, and it wasn't all it seemed to be. Bro, unless you go power, like I'll say this to kids. I got two things to say. One, enjoy high school, enjoy middle school. Like you can still work hard and be great at your craft and have a life. I did not have that. You probably didn't have that. Like, as I've gotten to college, I realized that. Like, I'll get my workouts done. I'll go hang out with my buddies. I'll have a night with them. I'll, you know, skip a Saturday and Sunday of working out and, like, enjoy my life. So there's one. And then two, goodness sakes, I got sidetracked. I was talking about, what was I talking about before that? D1 or bust?
Yeah. Well, Power 5.
Power 5. Just freaking enjoy it. Well, and then Power 5. Yes. So here's the second one. There's levels to Division I. Unless, in my opinion, you're going Power 5, like, that's going to feel like Division I. If you don't go Power 5, it's not going to feel like Division I basketball. You might as well go to a NAIA and enjoy it and play and love it, because I know you can speak on that. Like, Liberty's different, though.
Yeah, I would say as a mid-major, we had a lot of money just to throw around.
You guys had a lot of fans. Like, bro, you know some of those games in the A-Sun. I was playing in, like, a high school gym.
Yeah, we play, like
40 people.
I mean, I would say when we played Stetson, it was empty. It was empty. Yeah, I would say, like, FGCU had a good fan base, but, I mean, they have a good history as well. That the team that made the run, so a lot of their fans are probably from even before then. So a lot of those teams in those smaller conferences, you don't get a lot of fans all the time. Like, you don't have those diehard fans. So like, we pack out our gym all the time for games, and especially any of the conference games. Like, people are diehard for them. So
no, it's definitely different. And like, even like, we played some big schools at Stetson, so we opened up at Florida State, but nobody really went because it was like, who are these dudes? And we won, but it was like, it wasn't even really that cool because it wasn't packed out. Right. We got to play at Florida over Christmas break. Mm-hmm. Nobody was there. Right. Played at Charleston over Christmas break. Nobody was there. So it was like, played UCF over Christmas break. Nobody was there. So it's like, even when you play the Power Fives, it's like you're not really getting that full-on experience. So
I would say anywhere you go, though, those break games, most dead things ever. The Christmas break, the Thanksgiving break games, oh my God, this is the most annoying games to play because there's like no energy in the gym ever because there's nobody there.
Sucks if you're playing like a rival too, especially in our conference. Yeah. Like if you get a Grace or a Marion or a Huntington, like some of the power teams.
Because we played our conference tournament during spring break.
Yeah,
like nobody was here. So we played like our first our first 2 games, because the Grace game was packed at Grace,
Grace game
because
was-
everybody was back on campus, but the first 2 games were kind of just dead.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, that's my biggest thing is like I thought D1, and even if it was a smaller D1, like, but it was just way different than I expected. Like I thought it was gonna be like even Ball State, dude. That gym is ginormous, and it was like you don't even get half the fans. So it's just like it was definitely weird for me. But kind of want to transition to IWU now and just ask you like, how's IWU changed you? Hopefully for the better, I would assume. Yeah, like how's it changed you spiritually? How's it changed your mindset? What's your favorite thing about IWU? But mainly like what's changed about you since you got here?
the biggest thing that's changed is I've grown a lot closer in my relationship with Christ. Like, I started doing that at Liberty, but being a D1, you get those things that draw you away as well. Just being without, it's not as big as a community as here. Like, there's 25 to 30,000 people on campus. You walk around, you see a lot. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of distractions that go on. I would say being here, it's been life changing and eye opening. Just the amount of, I would say, opportunities that I get to just be in fellowship with other people, and not just a huge crowd, I would say. So like everybody genuinely cares about you as a person, and everybody genuinely cares about what you do. So people are honestly always checking on you and doing everything that they can to just be in your corner. So I think that's the biggest thing for me that I've seen. So I think the biggest change and biggest thing that I've grown in is just being a better follower of Christ. Like, honestly, just doing everything that I can to kind of just be that better person. I think all the people around me have pushed me to do that, even in small ways, like just being there for me, asking me how I'm doing, telling me to look at this, sending me scripture, stuff like that. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen difference. You know what I mean?
100%. I think it's so cool for all of us players to see how our coaches, like, how they act and how, like, there's a standard here and they really live by the standard, which I think is so cool because you have some leaders or, business owners or coaches who set a standard or set expectations and then don't live by it. But our coaches live by it every day from top to bottom. You see it with Coach T, you see it with Coach Clark, Muth, even Soof, and then shout out Dio, who was our old coach who just took a head coaching job at Trinity Christian.
Shout out Dio.
Congratulations, Dio.
You're gonna turn that program around, or you're gonna do your thing with that. So,
but no, they just the way they love their wives, the way they love their kids, their family, the way they love us, pour into us, and walk the line. I think it's been so eye-opening and so cool to have, like obviously my parents are role models for me, my dad especially, but like Jeff Clark and Coach T are two role models.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. Like, my parents poured into me crazy growing up. Like, I never went one weekend without going to church. My parents always reminded me, pray before you go to bed, get in the Word before you go to school, all this different stuff. So being here and that being translated into, like, what the coaches want as well, like, you automatically know you're in the right place. So it made my parents and me, like, way more comfortable deciding to come here. I think we call it no Bible, no breakfast. Like, they encourage us to get up in the morning before whatever we do, before we even eat, and just get in the Word. And then we'll share it around the whole team just so we know, like, hey, this is something that's important to all of us. So
another thing that's cool, well, for me, like, with the question of how IWU changed me, like, I grew up in a Christian school from preschool until 8th grade, went to a public university, and then came here, and it's like you can, like, call yourself a Christian or a follower of God, or you can be a follower of God. And, like, being here, like, not only have I grown in, like, my relationship with God, but, like, me wanting to be a better person for my mom, for my dad, for my future wife, for my future kids. Like, I think that stuff is super cool and has been something, like, I've been thinking a lot about, of just, like, being a better person and growing, because, like, we're getting old, man, and our knees are getting old and our body's getting old. My brain's getting old. But the more I think about it, it's like, man, I'm going to be a husband someday. I'm going to have kids, and to be able to learn from these guys here and grow and fellowship has been life-changing for me. So it's been pretty cool. So, all right. Now I want to know about your hobbies, Demo. I don't know. I really don't know these, to be honest with you. So what are some of your hobbies outside of hoops? We just talked about how we literally don't have any, and that all we did was eat a basketball every day. But
I would say I got a couple that I used to really indulge in. Like, if I wasn't hooping, I was playing Call of Duty all day, Xbox all day. I'm not good at 2K. I used to play 2K with Josiah. Shout out Josiah and Cameron. They know who they are. But we used to play 2K all the time. But Call of Duty, used to sit there and grind back in the day. So if I wasn't hooping, I was on the game till like 4 in the morning, waking up at 6, going to hoop, like stuff like that. So we've been golfing. Golfing. So I've been getting into golf a little bit. I'm not good, but I'm not terrible.
what I tell you earlier, he's not Tiger Woods. He's Tiger hits it in the woods.
And that's crazy to say. I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy to say. But I would say that I've been trying to indulge a little more and get out.
Yeah.
So it's just find more things to do. I mean, this is about to become a hobby too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Me and my buddies, when I went to Ball State, I got to have 2 of my high school buddies live with me in an apartment, and we always talked about a podcast, but we never jumped on it. So this is definitely going to be a huge hobby for me that I'm going to enjoy. All right, last thing to wrap it up.
You go about yours. That's crazy.
My fault.
No, that's why.
I really don't have any, if I'm being completely honest. I bought a guitar. I'm trying to learn the guitar. I almost smashed it the first day because I can't figure out how to do it. I love playing golf. I like taking naps.
Yeah, naps is
My nap
It's
life is crazy.
essential. Naps are essential for college hoops.
I'm like living the day to my nap. So like that's all I'm thinking about is my nap at 2 o'clock or whenever. But yeah, no, I really.
One thing about Beezy is he's very, very competitive. When he talks about the guitar thing, like, I don't doubt that was probably hit on the ground a couple times because he couldn't get it done. Because he's one of them. He's one of them ones. So
Literally had it up over my head.
yeah, I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing.
Just getting tired of it. All right, last thing. So going into this season, right? So let's debrief this. So last year, I tore up my knees, tore cartilage off under both my kneecaps, had surgery, missed the whole season. DJ hurt his knee. He played through it. He had, what did you have?
So I tore my meniscus. I had surgery after the season, like, of the previous year. This season, I re-tore it in preseason, played the whole season with it torn, and had like a stem cell procedure done. So basically, they took stem cell out of my back or bone marrow out of my spine, and then injected it into my knee. That's basically the short version of it.
Yeah. So we're both getting healthy now. So we didn't get to play together last year, but this year is coming up, and I just want to know your goals for this season. And don't hit me with I want to make my teammates better, and I want to, win games. Like, what do you want from this season?
For me, honestly, just get back to who I was. Either high school or first year at Liberty, like, just get back to the player that I was. And I think the biggest thing for me is here, especially defense. Like, I play defense. Like, that's my thing here. That's my niche or niche, whatever everybody says. But so
Jam.
Just press.
Jam.
But no, the biggest thing is I want to get Defensive Player of the Year. That's my goal this year. So whoever I'm on, lock down. That's what I want to do. That's a big goal for me. And then just honestly, average the most assists in our league, maybe in the country, because I got a lot of scorers around me. Beezy, Griff, Cade, I'll just throw that up to him. We got a lot of new guys that are solid too. So we'll have some of the teammates on the pod in the future, but just shout out to those guys, man. If I wouldn't be the player or have had a season as what I had without those guys. So a lot of the guys from last year too. So I think the biggest thing for me is I want to be Defensive Player of the Year, and I want to average the most assists in our league and the country as well. So scoring comes out of that. Like we'll have a lot of space this year to create out of, so I'll be able to get downhill and get to my bucket too. But that's not my goal. Yeah. So how about you? I know you got new season, about to be healthy.
Yeah, first things first, I just want to get healthy. First thing. I don't know, man. I'd love to, like you said, man, just get back to hooping like I used to. Like, I always tell everyone this, like, for me, like, I'm so used to shooting the ball from so far back, like way beyond 3, because once I hit one, or even if I shoot one, now you have to come guard me out there, and then I can start. I'm not good, like, just close to the basket. Like, that's not my game. And I say it like this, like, that's like almost telling, like, Kevin Durant, like, you're not allowed to shoot a mid-range anymore. That, like, throws off his whole game. So shooting from deep throws off my whole game. So being here and being able to, like, let it fly fearlessly, like the coaches talk about, like, getting back to, like, who I am and how I play, like, that's what I'm most excited for, man. And the accolades and the wins and the, banners we hang will come. Like, we know that. But I just want to get after it again and get back to who I was. So.
No, I'm happy to play with you this season. It's about to be fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and yeah, man, yeah, I'm excited too. But this was episode 1 of our podcast.
Backcourt combos.
Yeah, it should be fun. We'll have a lot more stuff coming up and get this all over social media and stuff. So
yeah, so what we're thinking about doing is we're gonna get on TikTok, Instagram, create pages for that. Moving on from this podcast, we might talk about basketball. We might talk about things going on in the world.
a lot of different things.
Hopefully we're talking about Game 7,
Yeah.
the NBA Finals.
I don't know, man.
What is it, Game 5 tonight?
Game 5 is tonight.
Yeah. So talking about a bunch of different things. Just kind of what my friends would say, chewing the fat, hanging out. Probably have some teammates on. Really trying to get some, when we get a little bit more professional, have some bigger guys on, and once we grow our crowd and stuff. So, yeah, that wraps up episode 1 of the Backcourt Combos.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah, for sure.